From those of us at City Hall to each and every one of you, happy holidays.
Santa Claus? Afraid not. I'm just a poor schmo. Got lucky. And sue me if I want to give some back.
Selena, about that Christmas getaway we planned? I'll be going alone. Dr. Shaw says I need to be my own person and not an appendage.
What?
All I want in return is a chance to find my mom and dad.
I hope he finds it.
I wish I could hand out world peace and unconditional love, wrapped in a big bow.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a very special episode, a very special Christmas episode of Clubhouse Movies Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Rubalcaba, joined once again by Mr. Ao Panetta. And today, for Christmas, on this very special Christmas, you can see, we will be reviewing one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time, Batman Returns.
And it is a Christmas movie.
Directed by Tim Burton. We were talking about what movie we're going to do for Christmas. Mm-hmm. We were talking about Home Alone. What else did you say? Christmas Vacation?
Yeah.
Those are a little too obvious.
Yeah, the classics.
And then I actually saw very recently a poll, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Okay.
And to me, that was always the big debate, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? And I guess it actually does take place in Christmas.
Yes, it does.
It has a handful of Christmas themes, ho, 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 now I have a shotgun or a machine gun. But this movie is through and through a Christmas movie. Batman Returns.
Absolutely.
Starts as a fairy tale. And has big musical overtures, and the whole movie almost seems like it takes place in a snow globe.
Yeah.
Did you notice, like, the cinematography of this movie? Everything looks like it's a dollhouse. Like,
yes.
Everything.
It was very reminiscent of, like, Edward Scissorhands.
And kind of the more I think about it, this movie, the way it's written, it's almost like a Christmas Carol. Whereas everybody is kind of a different version of the other person. So there's Bruce Wayne, who has the alternate persona of being Batman.
Yep.
But he's also a rich person whose parents were murdered before he got a chance to grow up. Mm-hmm. Penguin, rich kid, persona Penguin, also called Cobblepot, never got to meet his parents at all.
Yeah.
Right? But also we have Max Schreck, played by Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
No one talks about him. He went the full distance. He was rich, stayed with his parents, and became a corrupt businessman.
Yeah.
Who is a super consumerism, by the way.
Yeah.
He's the face of consumerism in this.
He really is.
He basically runs like a Hello Kitty operation.
Yeah, he's like an energy vampire.
Yeah. So Max Schreck, the name from Nosferatu.
Ooh,
so that's another callback. So to me, this movie is more of a Christmas movie than most other movies.
I will absolutely agree with that.
So, like, even the plot, the Penguin's goal is to steal Christmas.
I mean, seriously, that's what he's the Grinch.
He's the Grinch, and not only that, I put this elf here for a reason, because the Penguin kind of looks like an elf in this movie.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, he's small.
Okay, but the Penguin Man, the makeup on this guy.
Yeah, Danny DeVito was someone else.
I want to find my human name. I want to go. I wasn't born here. I come from like you. So good.
Yeah, that was something. That was deep. That was a lot deeper than I expected them to go with.
I come from like you. And like you, I want some respect. A recognition of my basic humanity. But most of all, I want to find out who I am by finding my parents, learning my human name. Simple stuff that the good people of Gotham take for granted.
With him and everybody in this movie. Everyone in this movie has a motivation. Everybody has their relationship to what Christmas is. And also the music in this movie, Danny Elfman nailed it.
Oh my God. Yes.
This music to this movie tells the story, even if you didn't hear or see it.
Yeah. Like very Danny Elfman.
Very Danny Elfman, but the Penguin theme, it is the Penguin. You can write an essay about the Penguin by just hearing the music.
Yeah.
You can do that the same with Catwoman, with the Catwoman theme.
Yeah, the Catwoman theme was crazy.
And of course, the Batman theme.
The Batman theme, man.
Coming back from Batman 89.
Yeah.
Batman Returns. So this movie has a lot of themes. I don't know if we want to get into it, but if you haven't seen it, see it. And
Yes,
see it.
watch it.
Watch it with a fireplace.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max. It's like you can get it anywhere you're going to stream anything. But yes, put on a fireplace. Get your popcorn ready. Put on some Christmas lights. Just get ready. It is through and through a Christmas movie, and the theme is pretty consistent throughout the movie.
Yes. And it starts with a fairy tale pretty much without any words. The birth of the penguin.
Yes.
So he's a rich kid. He's born, and his dad immediately screams when he sees him. You're, "Ah!" You know who his dad was?
No.
It was Pee-wee.
Oh, that's okay. I saw him and I was like, that can't be Pee-wee.
That was Pee-wee.
Okay.
And his wife was also Simone, who was Pee-wee's girlfriend in the movie. Simone!
No way.
So Pee-wee and Simone, and you know what else is funny is Pee-wee came back to play Penguin's dad in Gotham.
Really?
Yes, he was.
I didn't watch that show.
He was Papa Cobblepot again in Gotham, but he actually had like speaking roles and everything.
Yeah.
So it was pretty funny.
Holy cow.
But the main plot of this movie is that the penguin was abandoned when he was a baby, pretty much.
Yeah, he was thrown into a little river.
A river in the park.
In the park.
That went to a penguin exhibit.
Yes.
In a zoo.
Yeah, an abandoned zoo.
I don't think it was abandoned.
Oh,
then.
not at that time, yes.
It wasn't abandoned at the time. So the penguins and the circus people brought him up. By the way, Batman does detective work in this movie.
Yeah.
He's going through all the old newspapers. Is like the circus is shut down.
It felt like a throwback to one of the early Batman animated series episodes where Batman is, he's going through reading everything backwards.
Well, oh yeah, because there was a dream. It was
It was when he wasn't the Batman. He had his grappling hook or his rope, his sweater. It
was the Scarecrow who put him in that world.
Yep.
But to me, Batman and Batman Returns set the stage for the animated series. They came out first.
Oh, I know.
Like the next day, the Batman animated series came out. They had the themes, and the Catwoman was pretty much the same, and the Joker fell in the chemicals.
Yep. So good.
Oh my God.
So much goodness here.
So this movie takes place on Christmas, 33 years later.
Yes.
And Alfred's doing Christmas shopping, and they're going to light the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And that's where we meet Max Schreck. He's a corrupt businessman meeting with the mayor.
With the biggest 80s hair.
Biggest 80s hair. And by the way, if you noticed on the wall, pictures of Max Schreck with celebrities, right? There's a picture of him with a very buff man, right? And there's two ways to look at this.
I'm trying to remember this.
Maybe you see it, maybe you won't.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it again.
The picture is either of Max Schreck with celebrity Arnold Schwarzenegger or Victor Fries before his accident.
Oh.
So you can look at it both ways. I remember when I saw that, I'm like, oh my God. Because he was an Olympian and everything in this world.
Holy crap, I need to watch this again.
Yeah, dude, this movie is filled with
there's
a lot of little callbacks.
We'll get to them because there was one that I saw and I just could not get over the fact that this was done so well. So
okay, so they're going to light the Christmas tree again. Yeah. Max Schreck is the big businessman supposed to give a speech at the thing, but he forgets his notes. So his secretary is upstairs. Yeah, played by Michelle Pfeiffer expertly as Selena Kyle.
Yes,
forgot the notes, and she's like, "Oh no, I gotta go get the notes." And she's really mousy, running around. Yeah, she tried to make a statement in the meeting where they made fun of her and said, "At least she makes coffee."
Yeah, at least a mean pot of coffee.
Yeah, at least she makes a mean pot of coffee. Yes.
Yeah, that was good.
But Max Schreck also has a son.
Yes.
And here's the thing, though. There's a lot of things about legacy and family.
Yeah.
Penguin wants to reestablish his legacy, and Max is trying to do his legacy. Meanwhile, Bruce Wayne.
Batman has the Batman legacy.
Yeah, has a Batman legacy no one knows about, actually. Yeah. Because it's a secret. I'm dropping all these cats.
Yeah.
Cats and penguins. But during the lighting of the Christmas tree, a giant Christmas present appears.
Great idea.
Not mine.
On the street. And I was like, oh, that's nice. Did you do this? I didn't do this, but I did.
Yeah.
And who comes out? Freaking Halloween Town pops out.
Yeah. Very Tim Burton. I was like, is this a Nightmare Before Christmas meets a House of a Thousand Corpses?
They played the Making Christmas a bunch of times. Making
I know.
Christmas.
I heard it.
A few years before Making Christmas. And these guys are like killing people. They're setting people on fire. They're doing all kinds of things. They want Max Shrek. They go to them like,
Yes.
we want the big guy. We want the guy who runs the show. It's a circus people. So it's like the fat man's there. A bunch of clowns doing clown stuff with machine
guys
guns
on
and Uzis.
stilts. It was crazy.
It was crazy. And it was just mayhem. And like, it looks big, but also looks claustrophobic at the same time.
It's the I say it's the claustrophobic nature of this scene that makes it feel so intense when you're watching it.
It is, and plus no one likes clowns. And these are spooky clowns. And I remember when I
These
saw
are
this,
the roadside clowns. These are the ones you don't want to meet.
I saw this in theaters when it came out, and I remember the big skeletons with the giant heads and the googly eyes.
Yeah, that was terrifying. I was watching this like at 11 o'clock at night going, oh, crap.
Yeah. And then the coolest thing happens ever. Commissioner Gordon pulls up in a cop car. He's like, what are you waiting for? Get a signal.
When he said that, I was like, oh, yes.
And I just like it how Bruce Wayne is literally just sitting at home on his couch, just like, and I like to imagine, like, what is he thinking? What if I was married? What would Christmas be like?
Yeah. And then
What
he
if-
sees the signal.
Not only does he see the signal, he's like, what could have been? You know, if my parents hadn't died. Then all of a sudden the signal pops up in the sky. And these giant reflectors go brrr, brrr, and beam the bat signal into his library. He just gets up. He's like, it's time. Like he doesn't say anything, but he has this intensity to his face.
Yeah, man. Michael Keaton really sells it up. And he doesn't have to be like this huge, jacked, freaking Batman. He just
looks like he's like Batman.
He's forever the face of Batman.
He wants to get nuts.
Yeah.
When you look at this guy. And the thing about it is there's a scene later on towards the end, I just kind of want to mention this now, where he has his mask off.
Yep.
And he does the Batman turn with his mask off. He doesn't have the mask off. He looks like Batman.
I know. This is the Batman we grew up watching. Like everybody, like,
he just turns. He's
I vividly remember seeing Michael Keaton's face in the Animaniacs every time he would show up. Any one of those animated shows, it was Michael Keaton's Batman.
But he just plays with such an intensity, even when he's not Batman. But Batman comes and pretty much saves the day. Like he comes and he kills a couple of dudes, but it's okay.
Yeah, kabooms them.
Yeah, later on. One dude was throwing spitting fire at him, and he turns the Batmobile around, turns the jetpack on, sets him on fire.
Yeah, he goes through. He clotheslines a few of the guys on stilts.
Yeah, and then he has this thing that goes down and it messes up the motorcyclists, and then he runs into Selena Kyle, who's about to be attacked by one of the clowns. And Batman gets out of the Batmobile, and he's like, "Oh, where you going, Mr. Batman? Yeah, watch out!" And he has like a taser.
Yeah, so
which
the guy
is
has a taser.
supposed to be a non-lethal weapon, by the way.
Yes.
Another dual-purposed. So the mousy secretary, non-lethal, turns lethal at the end.
Oh.
Anyway,
there's another nod that. Oh
yeah.
Oh.
But Batman, he shoots his grappling hook.
Yeah.
At just to the left of the clown. He goes, you missed, and he pulls it and knocks the guy.
Super Batman strength, rips a chunk of concrete wall and hits him with it.
And this is Selena Kyle's first interaction with Batman. She's like, "Oh wow, the Batman. I guess it's just Batman." And just like runs off.
Yeah.
She's like, "Just like all the men in my life."
I know. I was like, "Oh man, that would take a twist real quick."
Yeah. She goes to the clown. She's like, "You need therapy." And she shocks him. He's like,
Yeah, while he's still on the ground. That was great.
And at this point, we know that the Penguin was behind it because he was in the great. Because Max Shrek was giving a speech. He's like, "Oh, but you can." He's like, "I wish I can give everyone world peace wrapped in a big bow." And then the Penguin's like, "Oh, but you can. Oh, but you will." And Max Shrek runs away, and he thinks he escapes, and he falls in the sewer. The sewer just kind of
It's like a little trap door.
Yeah, trap door calls him in, and that's when he wakes up in the circus gang's lair, which is an abandoned SeaWorld?
Yeah, it's like an abandoned Arctic world, I think they called it.
Like a polar bear Arctic world from the zoo that closed down in the past at some point for some reason, some mysterious reason. And the Penguin comes off first as, "I believe the word you're looking for is..."
Pretty good.
Yeah, because there was a paper boy at the beginning trying to sell tabloid newspapers. Penguin Man in the sewer, sightings. Because they were seeing this because he is a freak. His fingers are fused together, so he has three giant fingers.
He's like this. He's got a free index, a free thumb, and then his other three fingers are grafted together,
and they look like paws, pretty much.
Yeah, it's gross.
And he's got a giant nose.
Yes.
And he's perfectly round.
Perfectly round. He's bald headed on top, has deep sunken black eyes.
Yeah, and he's got a long nose.
Super long nose. He's got these jagged
long,
black
squiggly
teeth.
hair. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And he spits a bile when he talks.
Yes. That's exactly what he sounds like.
And he even makes like penguin.
Yeah, when he's eating, he sounds just like an emperor penguin.
He does that a lot when he walks.
It's like walking is a strain for him. He's limping because he's a penguin.
So what his goal is and why he wants Shrek is he wants Shrek to be his in when it comes to becoming a celebrity. He wants people to know that he wants to be. No, I want to find who I am. Yes. I want to know my human name.
Yeah, he wants to put his story out there. He wants people to feel for him and not see him as the freak he is.
Yes.
And not just freak, visually, but freak mentally too.
So Max Shrek is probably a billionaire. So we say he's another reflection of Bruce Wayne. He's like, why would I help you?
Yeah.
He's like, wow.
He's alternate Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. So it turns out that he has all this blackmail.
Yeah,
on Max Shrek, including a severed hand from his business partner.
Yep,
a bunch of
Penguin has all this stuff.
Yeah, Penguin is like, you flush it, I flaunt it.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, he agrees to fulfill this deed.
Yes.
So what their evil plan is that they're going to kidnap the mayor's son, and they do it at a what do you call it? They do it at a press conference. And by the way, unsettling what do you call it? Lots of unrest and riots around Christmas time, Christmas relighting and all that stuff. Kind of eerily today.
Yeah, man.
Very.
I stand before you once again to denounce the urban chaos we seem to have to live with in our great city.
But the mayor is saying, "Oh, this crime wave will stop. We'll stop at nothing."
Yeah.
And a clown does a bunch of cartwheels and a barrel roll, steals the baby. He's like, "Thanks."
Yeah, and then just like does a hop, skip, and a jump right into the sewer.
Yeah, he steals the mayor's baby jumps into a sewer.
Yeah,
and you hear like, "Oh no, it's the penguin! Yeah. Oh no, don't touch me!"
and obviously this was set up on purpose,
staged,
staged act, so we could see now
the penguin rises, from the sewer with the baby,
rises from the darkness,
and it happens at the press conference, so everyone sees the penguin save this baby.
So he's literally in the spotlight.
Yes, and then they're interviewing Penguin. Who are you? He's like, you've been in the sewer all these years, and I'm just a little different. And while this is happening, Alfred is setting up the Christmas tree in Wayne Manor.
Yeah,
and Bruce Wayne's just chilling watching TV.
Yeah.
And then, like, Alfred just says, "I'm like, well, what are you watching?" He's like, "I don't know. This weird penguin guy. He lost his parents. Hope he finds them." Like, he says that.
Yeah, I know. He's just so human.
I hope he finds them.
He's like such a human dude.
Yeah.
It's great.
And all through this, Batman is watching the press coverage of this guy. He goes to City Hall and he's looking through records. He's trying to find his human name, and you see Shrek. He's like, well, "What's he doing?" He's like, "Give him his privacy. He has a right to discover his roots." And then as this is happening, Batman's driving by and he sees him in City Hall writing down a bunch of things.
Yeah, feverishly looking through here.
And then Alfred's he even calls him on the phone. He's like, "Why are you researching this penguin?" He's like, "I don't know. I don't trust him.
Yeah.
I think he knows who his parents are." His Batman voice. Oh, he's so cool.
Yeah. Super cool, man.
And then while this is happening,
way cooler than Christian Bale's Batman.
Yeah, he sounds like he's got throat cancer. This guy was Batman.
Yes.
And all while this is happening, Max Shrek is going to have a meeting with Bruce Wayne. So his secretary, Selena Kyle, lives alone, really mousy, played by
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yes. Goes back to the office to go and set up for the meeting, but she finds out that he's actually planning on stealing power from the grid.
Yeah, so because Gotham has a surplus of energy, and he's trying to store it in capacitors.
Yeah, in a big capacitor. So Max Shrek, played by Christopher Walken, expertly runs into her late at night and says, "Well, what are you looking at?" And she says, "Oh, well, it looks like this is a capacitor, but it just means you'll be stockpiling energy for the next 100 years or so." And he's like,
"What did curiosity do to the cat?"
I don't think I can let you go hearing that.
So while this is happening, they've now moved from his filing cabinet where she found this to her desk. So she's sitting down, and I just wanted to interject here.
Yeah.
There's a light here being cast up toward her face, and her glasses, they're in this sloped, like oblong fashion. And the crazy thing is, when that light is cast on her face on those glasses, it is creating the cutout or the silhouette of the Catwoman face on her skin.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, it was, if you don't notice that immediately, I don't know what you're looking at, but it just blew my mind when I saw that.
Yeah. It's a foreshadowing, definitely. And there's a scene just before this where she's in her apartment and she's single. She has a pet cat.
Yeah.
And her boyfriend apparently dumps her.
Yeah, because she's an appendage. He's like, I don't need an appendage.
Some appendage. And her parents always want to spend time with her. Mom's like, why didn't you have called me? Just a bunch of voicemails. But now she's in the office, found out this thing, and then this guy's like, he's like, I can't let you know that. And then she's like, well, you can't bully me. Like, I guess bully me, threaten me. It's not like you can just kill me. And then like, he kind of like, she gets next to a window. He's like,
Actually, it's a lot like that.
and he goes, he's and then she starts like laughing, and she's like, what? And then he pushes her out the window.
You know, for a second there, you really frightened me.
Seriously. I was like, oh no.
And then she screams, and then she goes through a couple of banisters and then just plats like she is dead on the ground. And I, throughout the rest of the movie, she looks dead.
Yeah, she's like
she is dead.
She is definitely supernatural Catwoman.
So she has a pet cat, and her pet cat, I think, is the black cat. I think the first one to come.
First cat.
And then a bunch of other cats come, and they come to her dead body.
Yeah. And
then they just kind of come around her, and then they start biting her, licking her.
Yeah.
All this stuff. And then one actually comes up to her face and like licks her, like.
Yeah.
But this goes on for a while, and they play like creepy
it's
music.
So crazy. And it's so crazy.
And these are all real cats. This isn't like CG. These are real cats coming from all over.
These are all practical effects. Like
the best. These are the Stan Winston and all the Terminators. Whenever you see all the big
all the
creatures
random
that
little
come out.
CG things are just like very, very small.
And then finally a cat licks her face, and then she wakes up.
Yes.
Because she was dead, and she woke up.
I mean, who wouldn't wake up from a cat licking your face? I've had that my cat lick my nose. I'm like, Jesus.
Me too, but not from the dead. But you know what?
From the dead.
I don't want to talk too much about the Halle Berry movie. But there was something like
I
this.
never saw that one.
Don't you're good.
Okay.
Don't worry
Didn't
about
want
it.
to ruin it for me.
Don't worry about it. But there's a scene because she's not Selena Kyle.
Yeah.
Halle Berry in that movie. But there is a scene very similar to this where there are CG cats, I believe, in that version. And they look fake as balls. But one of them actually vomits like air in her mouth. And that's what brings her back. But the reason why I bring that up is because they do bring up the mythology of the Catwoman.
Yeah.
Where cats can, almost like the Crow, brings a tortured soul back to life.
Yes.
And they do it in like women and certain women that they deem. I kind of like that, actually. I kind of like that bit of the mythology where she was wronged. Yeah,
it was very, and the thing is, she was the one who was a supernatural. So like where she's literally supernatural. Batman's mythos is like supernatural.
He plays the supernatural through theatrics.
Yes.
She is actually a superhero. Or an anti-hero.
Yes.
Let's say. Which I hate that term. I think we said that before.
Yeah, it's so ironic.
She is she's what Venom wants to be.
Yes, exactly.
But she doesn't realize this yet, but when she comes back home, she is clearly like zombified. And all the cats followed her back home, by the way.
Yeah, they did.
But she's knocking things over. She's like spilling milk everywhere, and she did the honey, I'm home. Oh wait, I'm not married, but she said like dead version.
Yeah.
And then she starts drinking like milk, like all over the
Terminator
place.
style.
Yeah. What?
Like in the movie Terminator 2, you remember that?
Wait, sorry.
When
he killed him?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Drinking the milk.
You mean Dead Guy?
Dead Guy
T-1000. Then she hears the voicemail again, but one comes up saying like, "Yo, your boss will like it when you wear makeup. He'll ask you out for 2." And then she throws the milk at the answering machine and loses her balls.
Loses her
mind. And destroys her whole apartment. Paints it black.
Yes.
Paint, like the song. She actually
makes
spray paints.
Cool costume.
Yeah, she builds her cat suit.
Yes.
Which somehow she made from a coat, an entire cat suit.
Like, was that a plastic bag?
But I believe she modeled it after Batman.
Yeah.
So she saw Batman, saw his thing.
I don't know about you, Miss Kitty, but I feel so much yummier.
So Max Schreck, he's trying to become a
right.
Yes. He's trying. He wants to build his power plant.
Yep.
Like we've been saying, but the mayor won't let him.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, fine, I'll get the funding from Bruce Wayne. So Bruce Wayne also interacts with all the characters
Yes.
here. And Bruce Wayne's like, this doesn't make sense to me. Like, I'm going to fight you on this. And then that's when Catwoman comes back to work.
As Selena Kyle.
As Selena Kyle, but like she's way more confident now.
Oswald controls the Red Triangle Gang. I can't prove it yet, but we both...
Wayne, I'll not stand for mudslinging in this office. If my assistant was here, she already would have escorted you out to...
Anywhere he wants.
Yeah,
Because
she's got like the eyeshadow going on because she's freaking dead. She looks like she's dead.
But she's flirting with Batman or Bruce Wayne a little bit. And Bruce Wayne as Batman recognizes, or Bruce Wayne himself recognizes her. He goes like, I think we met before.
Yeah.
And because this happens a few times.
Yes, a few times. I think like 3 times in this thing.
He's like, she's like, oh, I think you've met me before. I met you before. You met me before. Like,
Yeah. I was like, oh,
yeah, they have a little bit of that.
This is Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, we've met.
Have we?
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I mistook me for somebody else. Sorry.
You mean mistook me?
I mistook me. Yeah. That's what I said. Isn't that what I said?
No, I don't think so.
And
I think Max Shrek tells him like, "Can you take this guy out of my office or whatever?" And she grabs him by the arm,
Kicks
and
him
he's and then he's so struck by her that he forgets his coat and suitcase.
yeah.
So just to show you how
Enamored.
much of a hold she has on him.
So what happens now is Max Shrek figures out that we need to change the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
So he plans to recall the mayor with his new golden boy, which is going to be
The
the Penguin. So the Penguin is now running for mayor.
And he is totally an emperor penguin, by the way.
Yeah. So they build a whole what do you call it, campaign office for him.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, is this not? Aren't elections in November? Is this not late December? And he's like, well, mayors can be recalled, so let's do this. And he bites this dude's nose off for a minute.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, that freaked me out. That freaked out everybody.
Freaked me out when I was there watching it just now.
He's like, they were like making fun of him. First, the girl's like, oh, voters like fingers, so we gotta give you some fingers.
Trying to hand him some gloves.
And then the guy goes like, I guess there aren't any reflective surfaces at the bottom of the sewer. And he goes, it could be worse.
You could be gushing blood
My
from your
nose could be gushing blood.
Your nose could be. What do you mean by that?
What?
Oh, it just bites him right on the freaking nose, man.
And
he is such a super creep, by the way. Penguin. He is.
Because he's like, unlimited. Max Shrek is like, he's like, I don't know if I want to be mayor. I have all these plans because he's always writing stuff. We don't quite know what he's doing yet.
He's got this book.
And he's got this book. Remember, Batman was after him, and he found his real name, Oswald Cobblepot. He found his parents' grave. That whole thing. He had a whole thing, and the media is always following him. And he's like, they treated me. I was their number one. They treated me like number two. I actually didn't get that joke until like yesterday. Like, I'm like, yeah, the number two kid. Which I've seen this movie a bajillion times, by the way. I do remember everyone laughing in the theater back in 1992. I'm like, number two, but like not thinking like it would have been. So Max Shrek says, okay, you have a gang, so we got to like have a catalyst. We got to have a crime wave. So you want me to set my guys loose? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, okay, burn, baby, burn. Yeah. And they start a riot and they start blowing things up. They got bazookas, but guess who's out to stop them?
The Batman.
Batman shows up and messes these guys up.
Yeah, and then he's surrounded by a few of them.
He gets surrounded by a few. He's got this electric batarang, and then like
I think that's the most high tech batarang of all the Batmen.
Yeah, he sets it with his big clunky glove. Somehow is able to fine tune this drone. And then there's five bad guys. It's like 3 clowns with like there's 4 clowns with like weird ninja powers.
Yeah,
and the last one's this lady with a dog.
Yeah, she looks like Marie Antoinette. Who's a bum.
He unleashes the batarang against them, and then like the 4 of them get knocked in the head and get knocked out. And the last girl, right when it hits her, the dog jumps and grabs the batarang and runs off. And Batman has this look on his face like, ugh.
He's like, thwarted again.
Dang it! That's expensive.
Stupid dog.
The dog runs away with it. Yeah. And while this is happening, Selena, Catwoman, is in her full Catwoman getup.
Yes.
And she is out destroying the
The mall.
The mall.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's setting it on fire, and then she beats up a bunch of guards.
Yeah.
And that's what she's doing. Well,
Yeah,
Batman's doing his thing, saving the place. And by the way, did you notice that there was a dude that Batman pushed into like a hole or something, and he went.
Yeah, he did that exactly at, and I will say this so you guys can take note, at minute 57, 20 seconds. I actually, I'm not proud to say that I paused it, rewound it, made sure I had that down pat.
Yeah, that was right. Well, this is funny because there's this one dude with a...
And he blew up, by the way.
Well, yeah, because he had a bomb.
Yeah.
The Batman had grabbed some dude's bomb. And he put it
And
on.
stuck it on the other guy.
Yeah. Well, he's like, yeah, go ahead.
He's like, I'm going to need this for later.
Yeah. The bad guy's like, yeah, go ahead and hit me. And he hits him, and he's like, and then he looks down, there's like a bomb ticking on his chest. And Batman just smiles.
Batman, in this movie, Batman never pulled his sleight of hand moving away from people. He literally pulled just sleight of hand on everyone. He was like, look at this hand. Look at this hand. Bomb.
Yeah. And then while Batman's like saving the day,
Yeah.
the Penguin's just chilling.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Like,
just
for real, he's just hanging out.
He's just hanging out. And then like there's a lot of good like lines in this movie. And he's like, admiring your handiwork.
Touring the riot scene, gravely assessing the devastation, upstanding mayor stuff.
You're not the mayor.
Things change.
Oh, right.
And then then he goes, you don't really think you'll win, do you? Things change. Ooh. This movie, man.
Ooh.
And then just as that's happening,
Yeah.
The glass breaks at the mall, and Catwoman does like 1,000 cartwheels.
Yeah, I thought she was going to flip out into that stratosphere, man. On pure adrenaline, like pure G-force.
And she just stops and goes, wow.
She just does it.
And then she goes, meow.
She goes,
No, it's more like. And then the place explodes behind her.
yeah, and she's like, oh, my bad.
Yeah, and Penguin uses an umbrella and flies away. Gotta fly. And then Batman just sort of like, he just goes
like, huh.
Yeah, he follows Catwoman, and there's a couple of times they meet. I think this is the one where he follows her.
Yeah.
And then like Catwoman, like he punches her, and
Yeah.
he's like, "How could you? I'm a woman." He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
And then she starts beating him up.
She starts wailing on him, and then she gets like sexy with him, and she starts like touching his like. By the way, this is my favorite Batsuit, and I'm glad that this one's coming back in the Flash.
It's a cool suit, man.
It's actually this is the actual cowl.
yeah. Like
From it.
This right here.
And
This
then,
right
but
here.
like,
So good.
but the body too, like it's like it looks like a freight train.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like modern what do you call it? Modern deco or whatever.
Yeah, Art Deco.
Yeah, and then he's got the cool like web that goes like around.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And the cape actually attaches just below the cowl.
So
super
badass.
cool. Super cool.
But anyway, yeah,
So not on his back, over his shoulder, into here.
which also has a what do you call it? Memory cape.
Yeah, it does have
ability
memory
later
cape.
on. There are a couple of, by the way, Nolan callbacks, which
Yeah.
we'll get to,
Yes.
or call forwards, I should say.
Call forwards, yeah.
Ooh.
Which Nolan nods.
He chases Catwoman. They
They have a fight.
They have
She
a
shanks. She gets her
shanks him
claws.
in the side where
Yeah.
there's no armor.
Yeah, she's like, "There you are." Yeah, he's like, "Yeah." So he throws her off the roof. And then, when they're,
Well, is this when he throws the acid on her arm?
yeah, he napalms her.
He napalms her arm, and then she falls in the giant dirt truck.
Yes.
Saved by kitty litter.
She's like, "How ironic."
Yeah.
And by the way, her suit gets beat up so easily.
She only has one suit.
Yeah.
And by the way, did you notice that she has the same kind of scar pattern as Sally in Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
And then as she's doing this, she actually counts like how many times like she falls and like almost dies.
Yeah.
So
So she's a cat. She's got 9 lives,
She's
right?
got 9 lives.
We're keeping count.
And then while then we go the next day, and she's looking in, like she's just around shopping around town, and she's
Yeah.
looking in the window of a shop, and she's talking to herself. You see
Yes.
that? She's like, "Oh, why are you doing this?"
And then, yeah, she has a very, very Osborne moment there.
Yeah.
And then Who does
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne.
By the way, multi-billionaire. It's like watching Elon Musk show up in town. It should
it's like,
be.
why are you just walking the streets?
No one notices this totally rich guy hanging out, but he runs into where they start talking. They look at the newspapers about the riots, and they're like, some idiot thinks Catwoman's 150 pounds. How do these people sleep with her at night? and then he says Batman blows it. He's like, Batman blows it. He saved so much property damage.
Yeah,
like they have the same like critique of what's happening.
It's the funniest thing. It's things you just never get to hear in any other movie.
Yeah. And then they say that they're going to meet and they're going to go out on a date and watch the relighting of the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
But what has also happened is Catwoman met the Penguin around this time too.
Yes.
So they say they both hate Batman because Batman's the fly in their ointment.
Yeah.
And she tries to eat Penguin's bird and he tries to kill Catwoman's cat, and then
she spits out the bird and
the cat runs away.
He kind of just goes like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. And then the cat goes and runs away. But that's when we found out that somehow, and this is the biggest somehow in this movie, somehow Penguin's clowns figured out how to hotwire the Batmobile.
Yes, I actually wrote that. His goons are engineers and scientists.
Yeah,
like they're literal rocket scientists.
Yeah, well, Batman had all of Wayne Tech building like the shield system in the Batmobile.
Yeah,
but somehow they were able to counteract that.
Yeah, so and that happens when what were they? So the scene that happens before this is when Bruce Wayne and Catwoman Selena Kyle are in his house having.
That's next.
Oh, I thought that was before.
No, what happened was they went to go see the lighting, right?
Okay.
And when Bruce Wayne and Selena were seeing in front of the shop when they saw the newspapers, they're like, "Yeah, we gotta do lunch. It's got to be an early lunch though." Because they knew that they were going to go to
dinner.
war.
I think
early dinner.
Yeah.
How about 5 o'clock? Yeah, 5 o'clock is good because they knew that they were going to go to war. Not with they didn't know with each other yet.
Oh, right.
But they knew that they were going to watch the early setting of the lighting of the tree. And the thing about it is that they do this and they're getting kind of frisky on the couch and they can like feel each other's sore spots.
Yeah, he's like, ooh,
ooh, ah, ooh.
She's like, ooh, not there.
Yeah, you see her arms all bubbly from the acid he threw on her. Which, by the way, Batman, way to go with the acid canisters.
Yeah, nice.
Whoa, don't get that in the eyes.
Seriously, man.
Oh,
yeah. So then he gets up because he sees the tree lighting is about to happen.
Well, what happened was, meanwhile,
yes,
they were going to do the tree lighting, and Penguin went to the Ice Princess's trailer.
Oh, right.
And he had the Batarang that poodle
dog
lady
had
had
taken. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she's like, "Oh, what's that?" And he's like, "Talent Scout."
Yeah,
like, Talent Scout. Like, what is that? A camera? Yeah, smile. And he threw it in her face.
Yeah, he just freaking chucks it.
He chucks it. We don't see it, but he kidnaps her, and they find the Batarang with blood on it. So meanwhile, Selena and Bruce are getting fresh with each other, and they see the TV. They're like, with Commissioner Gordon with the bloody Batarang. He's like, "This is purely circumstantial," and they're like, "Whoa!" Yeah. They both realize they got to go, but they both use Alfred.
Yeah,
to make excuses.
Yeah, for the little alibis.
Yeah, but Alfred's Bruce is like, tell her I gotta go. Tell her I had a business deal. I had to go out of town or something. But tell her like, I still like her. Okay. Yeah. And then like Selena comes and then she's like, hey, I gotta go do something. But like, tell him like, it's all good. Like, I want to see him again.
Come up with a poem or something.
Or a dirty limerick.
Yeah, a limerick.
Well, one just came to mind.
Yeah, so that I was like, you dirty dog, you.
I like Alfred in this movie because in the beginning,
Alfred is played by Michael
Go. Yeah. But he's pretty good in this movie. And it's like because he did like Cobblepot in the beginning or the Penguin in the beginning. Yeah. But then he started to turn on him as time went on. So Batman goes to save the princess and she's all tied up. And then Batman almost saves her. And then Catwoman comes.
Yeah.
And then grabs her and then takes her to the top. And then kind of punches Batman a few times. So he's got to get back up. And then she's on the side of the...
she's on top of the building.
On top of the building, just over the Christmas tree lighting.
Yep.
On a high rise.
Be careful. Don't move.
And then Batman's like, "Oh, be careful, you might fall."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, it's okay. Like we talked girl to girl. I don't think she's gonna kill me."
and then what?
Then Penguin throws his umbrella.
Lawn dart!
Which opens up and bats fly out of it.
Yes.
And spooks the Ice Princess and she falls onto the button that lights the Christmas trees.
And as it lights,
all the bats come out.
Yeah, just everywhere. Just like, oh.
Yeah.
That went nowhere.
And then like some like stupid reporter dude's like, "Oh my God, Batman pushed the princess." He's like, "Whoa."
Batman's like, oh crap.
And then the police come and they shoot at him and he like falls over.
Yeah.
Falls
He's
in the
like,
next building.
Somehow they're already on the roof.
Yeah, and Batman just casually falls in the next building.
Yeah, takes a bullet, falls right out.
Yeah.
Batman had himself a...
Yeah, man, it was intense. And that's when he runs into Catwoman again.
Yeah.
And, he's all pissed at her.
Yeah, and they start throwing fisticuffs again.
Yeah, they start fighting. How did that fight end?
I think it ended with him... I think he fell off.
Oh, no, he didn't fall off. She stabbed him again.
Oh, right.
She stabbed him again, and he's like, ah! And then he pushes her and like throws the thing on the ground, and then he walks over to the edge of the building and does the most badass thing. We totally missed the badass thing. He pulls out the memory cape.
Oh, right.
And then he jumps over the building and pulls a Christian Bale 10 years before 15 years before Christian Bale.
A low flies over the crowd.
Over the Christmas tree and all around, all the bats flying around, exactly like Christian Bale.
It was pretty freaking rad.
Yeah.
How the hell did we forget that?
I know, right?
Almost.
Oh my God, it's so cool. And then he flies. And as he flies, guess where he lands? Right next to his Batmobile. He's like, oh, time to...
While that was happening...
While everything else was happening...
The Penguin goon scientists over here are hotwiring his freaking Batmobile.
But you know what? That did feel super like 60s TV series. Like,
it was great. It was totally cool because when that happens...
They're all just a bunch of clowns.
Yeah.
with the Batmobile in pieces, like putting... And then the stupid bug that they put in there was so stupid looking. It was like a little bulb with a spinning...
We forgot too what Penguin was doing is Penguin freaking got Catwoman, and then he hit her with his umbrella and send her off.
Well, what happened was while Batman was flying away back to his thing, Catwoman and Penguin just kind of met up to like watch like the carnage happening.
Yeah, and like
below.
Penguin brings out like a bottle of champagne,
a bottle of champagne and a ring, and he's like, "You should be my wife, and you should give me my slippers when like I'm
Yeah,
And he's like, she's like, "What?" Like her reaction was like.
He was like, you must be kidding.
You must be kidding.
He's like, you gave all the signs.
You lousy minx. You gave me all the signals.
Yeah.
And then she threw the ring on the ground, and then he hooked her neck.
Yeah, with his helicopter
umbrella. And he's like, go to heaven.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
He was over with that. And then like the thing, she managed to get off of it, and then she fell into a greenhouse. And her costume's all messed up at this part.
And then she yells and
she
her
screams, and the whole thing explodes.
Yeah, explodes. And while that happens, while that's happening, he's running into his
trailer.
Yeah, his freaking Winnebago.
Yeah, his Winnebago where he has a little Batmobile arcade game.
It looks like one of those 25-cent
like grocery store rides.
Yeah, where you keep your kid busy. It was great. He jumps in there and he looks like a toddler just having the best time of his life.
But so Batman's trying to get away from the police because they think he shot the princess.
Yes.
And while he's doing that, the screen turns on and he goes, I forgot what he said.
Don't adjust your sets. Welcome to the Oswald Cobblepot School of Driving. Gentlemen, start your screaming.
Pretty much like ready, set, go.
Yeah, pretty much like welcome to Penguin Airlines. Enjoy the ride. And then he loses control of the Batmobile.
Yeah, and he just bulldozes through cops.
He does because the thing's got like this thing that throw cows off the train. So like it's like the cop cars.
Oh, the spades,
the ram scoop or whatever.
Yeah.
So he's going through cop cars, going through this, and meanwhile he's like trying to tear apart his Batmobile.
Yeah,
trying to figure out how to.
He finally rips out like from the freaking top somehow.
Yeah, he's able to get underneath the car. Like he didn't burn his fingers on the road.
Yeah,
and he finds the thing which is just casually sitting on the bottom of the Batmobile.
Yeah,
and he gets it and just destroys it. And then you see like Penguin
foiled again
right before he kills the little lady.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
And so Batman finally gets control of the Batmobile after this.
Yeah.
And by the way, first, let's say what happens with the police are chasing him, and there's a tiny cutaway of two buildings next to each other, and Batman's like pushing buttons, like
like he's trying to get into his like freaking his underground passage.
Well, what it is he's trying to activate the Batpod.
Oh, I thought he was trying to go down.
No, because
that would make more sense.
What happened was the two sides of the Batmobile came off, and it turned into the Batpod.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
All right, now I'm a little worried.
And then he went through the thing.
Yeah, that was freaking awesome.
It was awesome because that's the exact same thing that happened to Christian Bale in The Dark Knight.
He dips on one of them, like he goes and he just breaks off two wheels. It's
Yeah. So that was the first instance of the Bat Pod when he escaped from the
so
police.
good. So good.
It was also nice to see, like, what's his name? What's the Christian Bale? Michael Keaton kind of panic.
Yeah.
Inside, he's like, oh, because it wasn't turning on
Yeah,
right
he's
away.
like, well, this is going to suck.
I'm a little worried now. And he got away in the Bat Pod. Oh, I remember we went up the bridge with the little thing.
Oh, right. Yeah. Man, he barely controlled that thing. That thing was super sketchy.
It is what it is. We missed a big plot point there. While he was controlling the car,
Yeah.
Penguin was on the video, and he was like,
Just relax. I'll take care of the squealing, wretched pinhead puppets of Gotham.
he said, "Don't you worry, I'll play this city like a harp from hell. I play those pinhead puppets of Gotham like a harp from hell."
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and then Batman was recording it while he was
He's
gloating.
playing, and then he gets to his freaking Bat Cave and he plays it on his super sweet Bat CD player.
Yeah, with the goes
He does. So before they do that, him and Alfred are actually trying to find the frequency because now after all this has happened, the Penguin has come out and is now in front of the crowd of people.
Yeah, this is like the next day.
Yeah.
Where he's giving a press conference in front of
So
everybody.
much is happening. I thought it was the same night.
Yeah, it's breakneck speed, dude.
Yeah, man.
But he gives a speech, and then right when he goes up to the thing, he's like, "Don't you worry, I'll take care of the pinhead puppets of Gotham."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "I didn't say that."
Yeah.
To Max Shrek, and then Shrek's like,
And then Batman's in his Bat Cave.
"I play this stinking city like a harp from hell."
like a harp from hell.
Like a harp from hell.
We're not even exaggerating. This
Yeah,
is
this is
literally
insane.
what's happening.
You see everyone pull out their collective tomatoes and cabbage and throws it at him.
And then
they're like,
and then the Penguin says like the best line. He was like, what is it?
Why is there still someone who brings eggs and tomatoes to a speech?
It was so good. And I was like, where are the eggs?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, he didn't see. He had his umbrella.
Yeah,
And then he gets his umbrella.
nailed.
And he's like,
He just starts nailing the crowd with freaking.
I don't think he shot at them, but
no.
he just did suppressing fire and then ran back into the sewer.
He's like, whoop.
Some clown. Actually, everybody. Some clown comes up to him and he's like, "Great speech, Oswald." He cracks him in the face with the umbrella.
It was pretty good. And then that's when the Penguin starts going back to his master plan.
Yeah, that he's like, "This on these notebooks is the name of a firstborn son of everyone in Gotham."
So that's what he was doing when he was looking for his parents.
He wanted revenge because he wanted all these kids to not have Christmas this year.
Yes. So he's the freaking Grinch, guys.
Because he's the Grinch. He's back at stealing Christmas by stealing the children.
Damn it, Gobblebot.
Yeah, and that's his arch plan.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, while this is happening, we cut back to the Batcave where Batman is trying to fix the Batmobile. Yeah. And then
oh wait, real quick. So damn turkey side. So what happens is, so when he mentions this plan, one of his goons says, "Kids, that's kind of dark," and then he shoots him, and the guy falls right into the water.
Stealing children when they sleep, isn't that kind of?
Yeah.
No, it's a lot.
Yeah, and that right there is actually some foreshadowing again.
Yeah, because he kicks him into the water because remember he said it's a big polar bear entrapment or whatever. So he kicks him into the water. There's a big clown now under the water with a gun because he's a henchman, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, Batman's back in the Batcave trying to fix the Batmobile, and then Alfred comes with a party invitation. He goes, "Are you going to go to that odious Max Shrek's Halloween or no Christmas costume masquerade party?" He's like, "Hell no."
Yeah. He's like, "Shall I send him a resounding no?
Shall I RSVP in the negative?"
Oh yeah,
in the resounding negative. Yes, and he goes, "Hell no, I'm not going to that." And then he's like, "Wait a minute."
He tears it in half. He's like, "Wait, will Selena be there?"
Selena Kyle will probably be there. And then, yeah. Then he puts it back together. He's like, fine. So this part is where the movie, because the movie does get meta a couple of times.
Yeah, it does.
This is a masquerade party.
Yep.
And
everyone has a mask on.
Everyone is in costume.
Except
2 people.
Selena
and Bruce.
Oh,
And by the way, they have this dance.
yeah.
They took this dance almost mirror for mirror in The Dark Knight Rises with
Yep.
Selena and Dan.
Yep.
It was.
I saw it and I was like, whoa,
You know, you were like,
my earballs.
there was also another one. I almost wanted to add this line if I could. If I had a Last Action Hero ticket, I would whisper it in Bruce's ear because Shrek is there and he has a costume and he goes to Bruce who's not in costume, who's not in a traditional costume. He's just dressed like Bruce and Selena. They're just dressed like like normal people.
Yeah.
But he's like, well, let me guess, trust fund a goody. And then Bruce is like, well, looks like your kingpin is out of commission. And he's like, oh, well, another day, another deal. I forget what he says.
Yeah.
But then he goes, Shrek goes, I'm the light of the city and its mean, twisted soul.
Oh.
And then in my head, I thought, well, you're talking to the watchful guardian, buddy. Yeah. So that was pretty nice.
That would have been great.
Yeah, if he said that. But that's what he's saying in his head.
Yeah. That's what he's saying in his
I'm
head.
the watchful guardian. And this part is actually pretty cool because there was a scene where Batman was, when one of the many rooftop fights that Bruce had with Batman, she had,
You mean
Batman.
Selena had with Batman?
Catwoman had Batman
Yeah.
on his back in
Yeah.
a sexy pose, and then she licked his face, right? But this is earlier. And then Batman looked up and saw mistletoe.
Yeah.
Remember?
And mistletoe is very dangerous.
Very,
for
very,
cats.
very poisonous, yeah. But Batman said to Catwoman earlier, says,
Mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it.
But a kiss can be even deadlier if you mean it.
while they're at this masquerade party.
She says it again. Well, real quick, when she said that, I could not help but think of Poison Ivy.
You're right. That might be a foreshadowing. That one
Yeah.
too.
So
we have a early, probable Mr. Freeze, but not really Mr. Freeze.
Yes.
Foreshadowing, but
There we go.
Poison Ivy. But anyway, they're at the dance here, and this time Catwoman sees the mistletoe up on the roof.
A kiss under the mistletoe. You know, mistletoe can be deadly if you eat it.
A kiss can be even deadlier.
And then
and this is them as Selena and Bruce.
yeah, just in like tux and
And they're
dress.
saying each other's lines.
Yeah, and then like they kind of have a
They're both like,
they have a
"Whoa."
aha moment, and then they kind of talk for a minute, and then like Bruce is like, why are you even here? And she pulls out a gun. She's like, this is for Max.
Yeah, it's like
oh,
this
no,
little
she goes, I'm here
pea
for
shooter.
She goes, yeah, it was a 4-shooter too.
Oh, I thought it was a 2-shooter.
I think it was a 4. Anyway, she's like, actually, I'm here for Max. And she just like laughs.
Yeah.
And she's like, this is for Max.
Yeah, crazy dying laugh. And then all of a sudden,
Well, there's this, okay, so right before the all of a sudden, there's like a bit of a respite in the like they're tired of being like Batman and Catwoman.
Oh,
as,
right.
as they're
Yes.
talking, and then Bruce is like, maybe we should go outside and talk. I wonder what would happen if Penguin didn't crash this party, because they literally would have just sat in front of the place,
Yeah.
and had a heart to heart about being
and then we're like,
Batman and Catwoman.
like, so you want to go make babies then?
Yeah, let's like stop like killing people.
He's like, truce. He's like, I got plenty of milk.
Yeah, he's like, I killed like 3 people today. I strapped a bomb to one of them and set another dude on fire. And she's like, I haven't killed anyone, but I played tic-tac-toe on some dude's face and gouged his eyes out.
Seriously. He's like, ooh.
Woof. This girl's crazy, but
Yeah.
you know. But that did not happen.
No. The ground actually blew up, and then all of a sudden we see
Penguin
a giant
rise.
duck
Yeah.
rise from the depths.
You didn't invite me, so I crashed.
With the penguin in tow and a bunch of emperor penguins
Bunch
with,
of rocket penguins.
with rockets on their back.
I saw them and I yelled out, rocket penguins!
That's the closest we got there.
I don't even know the sound they make.
So he has come for Shrek because he's come for Shrek's son because he
Yeah.
wants Shrek to pay. He
Yeah.
wants to kill his son,
It's
but
the firstborn.
he announced to everybody at the party that the way I see this play out in my head
Yeah.
is that he has already taken the kids.
Yes.
when this happened, because I guess this movie, you know, when you think about movies in general, it never really happens linearly.
Yeah, you think things are happening, like they're not happening at the same time something else is happening. Like it's just never assumed. But this movie, everything is happening.
Everything is happening almost all at once.
Man.
It's kind of crazy because he set his clown henchmen in a crappy train.
Yeah, it's like the train you would see at your local mall just to keep the kiddos in line.
Yeah, that goes
It's
around in
hey,
circles or
$3
does
a
some
ride
figure
for
eights or
5
something.
minutes.
Yeah, and he's out abducting children.
Yeah.
But he makes this proclamation: "My men are out in the town abducting children while you party away. But I've come for Shrek's son." And then
That's crazy. It's crazy because usually in movies the bad guy goes on a monologue, says what his plan is, and then expects to just go ahead and go through with it. And this one, it's already happening.
It's already happening, and Batman, Bruce Wayne is there when this happened.
Yeah.
He heard this. He's like, "Uh-oh,
He's like, I need to skedaddle.
better get to work." And then Penguin tries to steal Shrek's son, but Shrek's like, "Oh, I'm the one you want immersed to his eyeballs in toxic waste." And he's like, "You got a point.
Yeah.
I'll catch you next time." And then they both like get lowered into the sewer, and then everyone in the world disappears.
Yeah, it's super weird.
I like to say that you know, in the city during holidays, everyone leaves anyway, so maybe that's what happened.
They're
But
all out making Hallmark movies.
yeah, I don't know where they are, having sexy adventures in the Hamptons or something. But they cut to Penguin back in the sewer with Shrek.
Yeah.
And he pulls out his little rubber ducky umbrella. And he's like,
right.
"I'm going to lure the kids into the sewer." And he's
It's
playing
a
the
giant,
music.
like a mobile, like when you put over a crib, that little thing that spins. He has an umbrella that's shaped just like that. Looks like a carousel, actually.
And he's like, "Then after all the kids have died, you join them." And he's like
Your
laughing.
own ooze.
Yeah, and then they cut to then they go to the little train, and they're abducting kids, and all the kids are locked up. And then for some reason it stops, and then the train conductor, the guy driving the train, is like, "Would you hurry up? We're in a hurry."
Yeah.
And then he looks and he sees Batman. Or he sees a shadow.
Yeah.
He goes, "Uh-oh."
Sweet cape.
And then you just see like him being grabbed, and that's the end of it. And then the funniest thing, Penguin is like Penguin's like dancing like he was a minute ago in front of everybody, in front of Shrek. And then a monkey comes down the stairs.
Oh, right.
The monkey's like just a monkey. And then Penguin goes to the monkey, "Where are all the children?" And then the monkey hands him a note.
Yeah.
And the note is on Batman's stationery.
Yeah.
It says,
Dear Penguin, children regret they are unable to attend. Batman.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
yeah.
So dumb he has Batman stationery.
That's
Here's my
bad.
card. Don't call me.
What don't you have in that belt, Batman? Patience. Oh,
That was pretty good.
So then Penguin goes to Plan B.
Yeah.
Which is unleash the rockets on Gotham City.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll assume that Gotham City has been evacuated at this point, for the most part. So he gives the troops speech to all the penguins and all the clowns. "My dear penguins,
We stand on a great threshold. It's okay to be scared. Many of you won't be coming back.
today
So good.
we attack them all. The first, second, third, fourth born. The sexes are equal with their genitals blown sky high."
Yeah, I was like, woof, man.
Yeah, right. And then all the penguins are jumping in the water with their little bombs. And then while this is happening, Batman has his little sewer raider machine, and he's like, and they're playing the song while he's like going through the sewers.
Pretty
and
dope.
It was like, remember the Nightcrawler in Batman in Justice League?
Yeah.
that was stupid.
That was stupid.
But now we have like Batman in his
Just
little
hydroplaning through
I
the
know,
sewers.
it's
Just
so
like,
badass. And then Alfred's like, "I think there's a bogey coming." He's like, "What?" And then you see a bunch of penguins with the rockets shooting rockets at Batman. And he
He's like, "Are you guys serious?"
Yeah, he goes, and you see the penguins just like, ugh. And you see Batman's face like, "What?"
He's like, they're literal penguins.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's why I lost it when I saw the freaking rocket penguins, man.
That's pretty badass. And then all the penguins, they show up at like Times Square.
Yeah.
And there's like 100
so
or
many.
more penguins.
So many penguins.
Different. I wanted to rub all their tummies.
Yeah, they're all
one by one, just like penguin.
You did a good job, penguin.
It's like,
but these were again, some of them were practical effects. There were people in penguin suits.
And there were penguins.
Yeah.
And there were robot penguins.
Yeah, and there were CGI penguins. Like it was like 3 of them diving in the water.
I think they're all.
No, those were actually CGI.
Really, but pre CGI penguin.
Yeah, it was 3 of them. Only 3, I think.
Boy, that's so awesome.
It was so many versions of penguins.
So the penguins all went in position, and all the clowns were listening. And then they had the poodle lady, and she was like she was the air traffic control.
15 seconds to the ignition.
There's someone approaching.
There's someone approaching, something large, and then something is wrong.
Yeah.
And then Batman turns on his like anti-sonar technology, and all the penguins immediately turn around and start walking back to where they came from. He's like, my babies! He's like everything has ended, and then they hear the hydroplane or whatever we call it, the sewer raider coming, and then all the clowns just disappear. Like remember they do this kind of like. They like cartwheel away.
Yeah, like goodbye.
And the poodle lady just disappears.
Yeah, into the ether.
Into the ether. And he's like, and he
that's exactly what he sounds like.
And then he gets on in his little rubber ducky mobile and then drives upstairs. And he just about gets out, and then Batman pulls a hard left when he sees like an up tunnel.
Yeah,
and he just flies out of the sewer.
So ridiculous.
Or wherever they were out of the polar bear encampment, there where all this happening, and lands on top, and somehow doesn't crush Oswald on top of the duck. And this is probably one of the best lines in the movie that actually makes the movie. But anyway, Batman gets out, and they're both wrecked. Both machines are wrecked. Goes looking for Penguin, can't find him. Then Penguin jumps on him, on his back, with the umbrella on his neck. And then he says, probably the through line of this whole movie.
You're just jealous because I'm a genuine freak and you have to wear a mask.
You might be right.
You are just jealous. Like he's saying, you're just jealous.
Yeah.
Because I'm a genuine freak.
Yeah.
And you have to wear a mask. And then
that was pretty good.
And then Batman says, "You might be right."
You're like, "All right, okay, all right."
Yeah. So he flips him off, and then they start fighting for like a quick second. But then Batman has this thing in his hand.
Yeah.
And then he looks around, and all the penguins all around them.
Yeah.
He's my babies.
Because Batman is now Mr. Sleight of Hand in this movie.
Well, I like to think that he used his sonar technology that he also used later on to attract the penguins, like he did. Oh yeah, then somehow Penguin gets the button and he pushes it, and all the penguins start shooting the things just like everywhere. But then bats come out of the Batman's machine, and attack Penguin,
which is crazy.
Yeah, and then Penguin falls into the back, like he falls into like a glass like viewing window and falls into the water where the polar bears apparently swam in the penguin encampment or whatever. And he falls and presumably dies.
Yeah.
Shrek sees the monkey with the keys, and he does the like, whoo, 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 whoo,
yeah.
whoo.
He's like,
and the stupid monkey's like, oh, I'm a stupid monkey. And he gives Shrek the keys, or Shrek yoinks them.
Yeah, he just takes them right away, opens the giant bird cage he's in.
Giant bird cage, falls in the water, and finds the gun.
Yes.
From the clown.
Yeah, from the guy who got shot by Penguin.
So then Batman uses his batarang, or what do you call it? His grappling hook to go down. And he goes to free Shrek. And Shrek's like, you're not just saving the life, you're saving. He's like, shut up, you're going to jail. And this is probably the best part of the movie, I think, where it's Shrek with a gun. And then Selena shows up, and then Batman's like, Selena,
why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And he's like, don't you see? We're the same.
Oh, right.
Split right down the center. And then, oh man. And then he takes off his mask.
Selena, please.
But he like has to rip it off.
Oh.
He has to. I guess every time he puts it on, maybe makes a new mask. But he rips it, like the entire bottom of the thing comes off, so like the bat shield is still there and just looks badass.
Yeah.
Even though his raccoon eyes disappear.
Yeah, which was amazing.
They need. I guess what's his name? Robert Pattinson probably looks good with his raccoon eyes because it's all over the trailer, just him looking sad. But anyway, he's like, we're the same. And like she's like happy for a second. She's like,
Yeah.
Bruce, I wish we can live in a fairy tale.
Yeah.
Both of us, and just have a happy ending and live happily ever after. And then he's like about to like console her.
Yeah.
And then she slashes his face.
Yeah, man.
And she's like, but I just couldn't live with myself.
Because she's dead.
Yeah, well, that and she's crazy. She's like,
She's nuts.
and then a good Shrek line here is like, Selena Kyle, you're fired.
Yeah.
And Bruce Wayne, why are you dressed up like Batman?
Yeah. Because he is Batman, you
moron.
Or you moron, yeah.
Because he is Batman, you moron. Was. And then he shoots at him, and then like he just gets the wind knocked out of him. He falls on the ground. And then that's when Catwoman starts coming at him with
her whip.
With her whip.
Yeah.
Which we never mentioned yet. By the way.
She's got like
She's got crazy
attacking him.
whip powers. And then he shoots her. He's like, you killed me, Batman killed me, Penguin killed me. How many shots you got in there? Let's find out. And he just keeps shooting at her, and she keeps
she's
getting
like,
up.
she's
4,
like, cats
5,
have 9 lives.
still alive.
Yeah.
And he just keeps shooting at her, and then like he's out of bullets, and she starts laughing.
So then she grabs her whip. And what else?
Okay, what happened was,
right. Yep. I
remember,
know it.
much like Selena was a
Yeah.
non-lethal weapon at the beginning.
Yes.
She grabbed the
taser
that she got at the beginning of the movie, and then grabbed the high voltage machine, like a bunch of wires.
Yeah, it was a transformer.
A transformer.
Yeah, with her whip, she goes. Whoosh.
How about a kiss, Santa Claus?
Because he was always saying that he was Santa Claus at the beginning of the movie. Santa Claus, I'm afraid now, but how about a kiss, Santa Claus? And she grabs him and then shocks him in the face while like acting like she's going to kiss him. And the whole thing just explodes behind them.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff flies everywhere. And then while this is happening, Batman kind of wakes up.
Yeah.
And he starts looking around trying to find like what just happened.
Yeah.
And then this whole like ending is like operatic.
It's crazy. Yeah.
As this is happening, Penguin just rises from the water.
Yeah.
And he's bleeding like
Yeah.
bile, and he's all jacked up. And he's like, and then the music that plays is like the same theme that he played when he was born.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like sad.
Yeah, it's a lot slower. And then he reaches for his umbrella.
Well, Batman's going through the wreckage trying to find Selena while he's walking towards the umbrellas.
Oh, right.
And then he pulls like this big piece of steel, and there's Shrek's fried body.
Yeah.
Shrek is fried. He's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Batman like winces like, whoa.
It's like,
and this is, by the way, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Like his face is out, but he's in the bat suit. It looks badass.
Yeah. It looks super cool. No
And
raccoon
then-
eyes.
Yeah, no raccoon eyes though. And then that's when Penguin grabs the umbrella gun.
Yeah.
And he's about to like pull it out and like shoot Batman with it. And that's when Batman does that hero turn, like,
Yeah.
but he's not wearing his suit. It looks so badass.
Yeah, he still looks like
looks
Batman.
like Batman. And then Penguin pulls it out, and then a bunch of rubber duckies come out. He's like,
I grabbed the wrong one.
I picked a cute one. I'll kill you. I'll murder you momentarily. I just need a glass of ice water.
Yeah.
Then he just plots on the floor and
face
dies.
first and starts sliding into the water.
No, he doesn't slide in the water.
Oh, right.
The Emperor Penguins come.
Yes.
Out of nowhere, like angels.
Yeah.
And escort him into the
Yeah.
but it's like a montage.
Yeah.
It's like, and they play the whole song, and Batman's just like watching and thinking and Brian in his head like, what the hell is going on?
He's like, they're gonna eat him.
I don't get it.
Oh man.
And then they launch him in the water, and he just like, and you see the penguins from under the water.
Yeah.
And it just kind of, then I guess he just calls Alfred and picks him. He's like, man, I had a day. But they show him in the car, and they're driving, and then as they're driving down the city, you see a silhouette of Catwoman running down the street.
Yeah.
And then he says, Alfred, pull over. And he pulls over and he picks up the cat.
Yeah.
Because the cat's still there, and the cat's really friendly. And
Yeah.
The camera's spiking like the camera, dude. That cat was happy to be in this movie.
Heck yeah.
And then he brings the cat back to the Rolls Royce, and then Alfred's like,
Well, come what may. Merry Christmas, Mr. Wayne.
Merry Christmas, Alfred.
Goodwill toward men.
And women.
Yeah.
and then the camera pans up, and it's like somber, like
Yeah.
and then like they just like have a hint of the song. bat signal comes up. And then Catwoman looks up. And then it ends.
It was good.
Yeah, it was badass.
Super good.
Because to me, it was about Christmas. It's about family and coming together and duality and people wanting to be happy but not being able to find happiness and being together around the holidays. And poor Bruce and Selena came so close to being soulmates. I think, though, in the Arrowverse, this version of Batman and Selena ended up together. So maybe we'll find out what happens in the Flash.
That'd be cool.
Because they were really meant for each other. And just some side notes here. They gave Tim Burton creative control over this one.
Oh, yeah.
And boy, did that piss off McDonald's. Because they want to make Happy Meals. And you can't make Happy Meals with super sexy cat women. And you can't make
super pissed off Batman.
and super horny, gross penguins. They're like,
so gross.
You guys need to kid it up next time because we couldn't sell any Happy Meals. Meanwhile, the movie was a success.
Yes.
Also, the first movie to be released in Dolby Digital. So the first 5.1 sound system movie. Oh man. It was such a see Batman Returns.
That's freaking great.
Because I think Christopher Nolan borrowed a lot of that Catwoman story and injected it here. A lot of Tale of Two Cities when it came to that version of it.
Oh yeah,
the Bat Pod for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm just cycling through some of the photos here on IMDb, and this is like the coolest freaking thing.
Yeah, and then
so many cool screen grabs.
Sonar technology. That's where Batman was using the soul. But he picked that up later on. The other thing was Max Schreck, I think, was originally supposed to be Two-Face. And that incident was supposed to turn him into Two-Face.
Oh.
And Robin was supposed to appear, but that was before they gave Tim Burton full creative control of the story. Which he came out with the Christmas movie.
Yeah, it was so good.
It was a Christmas movie featuring all the Batman villains and all crazy hyperbolic world in a snow globe. But why don't we give? Oh, and it's also worth knowing when we film this, Batman will return in the Flash. So cool. So let's give it some Christmas penguins.
Yeah.
You want to start?
Yeah, I'm going to give this one 5 out of 5 Christmas penguins.
Oh, that's the highest Christmas penguins we can give it.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Let's see if we can walk across this little snowy pass. Look at that thing. Look at it go.
I can see it. Good.
It got stuck.
Good.
All right. I said, in a time filled with endless superhero movies, nothing quite triumphs like a classic Batman movie. Enter Batman Returns. This movie was unapologetically dark and a bit twisted with easy to identify undertones. We need more superhero movies with layers. This one delivered, and hey, it's a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie through and through. I'm also going to give it 5 penguins, a misunderstood Christmas action epic that brings out the best that filmmaking has to offer. From the music, the photography, the storytelling, and even makeup. Perhaps the moral of the story is what some people will do to achieve happiness on Christmas.
That was good.
Yeah, man.
That's good. Well said.
I was thinking about, we're talking about this versus other movies.
Yeah.
Like, Keaton and Pfeiffer are in the MCU now. Right?
Yeah.
They're both, but like the movies they're in are so like not human, let's say. They're so showy, so hard to see that it's almost like night and day seeing Michael Keaton in like Spider-Man. He's a Spider-Man villain now.
Yeah, like a supervillain.
And then I was
Vulture.
And I was thinking about how this movie was made. And I was even comparing it to the Joker.
Okay.
The Joker is a weird kind of offshoot character study of those characters. But I felt like the Joker was not the Joker of Batman.
No, absolutely not.
This is an offshoot Christmas tale that involves all the Batman characters.
Yeah.
And these were the Bat, the Cat,
and the Penguin.
So
good. He's still moving.
But anyway, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Hope you enjoyed this review of Batman Returns, starring Michael Keaton, Michelle Pfeiffer, Christopher Walken, and Danny DeVito. In Batman Returns. And check out that score, too, by Danny Elfman. Probably the best. I'm going to include as much as I can here. Because that storytelling stuff really goes through with the music. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Yeah. Happy New Year. I don't know if we'll film a New Year's episode, but we will be releasing all kinds of new content.
Yes, we will.
Because we're hot like that. And remember to watch Shop Talk, like, share, subscribe. Hit that bell notification. Hide your kids, hide your wife, because the penguin is coming for them. But Batman will return. Until next time, this has been Clubhouse Movies Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Rubalcaba. Mr. Eyo Panetta, Merry Christmas.